Far beneath the surface of the earth dwell the Svirfneblin, the deep gnomes, a race related to the gnomes of the bright world. Small parties of these demi-humans roam here and there in the underworld's mazes of small passageways, always in the search of gem minerals. Their realm is a region unknown, but thought to consist of a closely connected series of vast caverns in which thousands of these diminutive creatures labor for their king. Only males have ever been seen. Wait, what? What?
Hello, Jasper here. Welcome to Svirfneblin Gumse, episode 0, I guess. I want to try and be very sort of streamlined with this introduction and not going off the ramble track too much. Or, I mean, stay on the ramble track. Anyways, I've made a little list, a to-do list of what to say, how to introduce this series. So I'm going to run through that as quickly and as thorough as I can. So yeah, this is Gumse's. I'm going to pronounce her Gumse. It's a bit Danish sounding and a bit silly. It sort of rhymes with Gnomse, which sort of means but or rumpy or something like that. But it doesn't mean that, but it's sort of gives that feeling. Anyways, that was Gumse. Whoops. Whoops. Here we go. My to-do list or to say list. The setting. We are going to play in what is probably known as the Underdark, but I'm going to refer to it as the Underworld. So we can see here, because I've just watched and it's funny sometimes when you work with something and then suddenly you stumble upon something. In this instance, like I planned to do this for a little while, and then all of a sudden I follow this YouTuber called Daddy Rolled A1, and all of a sudden this week's episode was on the Underdark and the Drow adventures from 1900 and I think the late 70s. Anyways, because it was called the Underdark then, and the Underworld. It was first, I think, in 1986. The wording was changed to Underdark. So because I'm playing sort of an OSR style game, I'm going to refer to it as the Underworld, as you also heard in the video. So I'm going to refer to it as the Underworld. And this is a whole new place for me. So there isn't any really, as far as I've seen anywhere, any maybe there is. If there is something somewhere, some source book upon the Underworld that I'm not aware of, other than the Drow Adventures D1 through D3, please let me know in the chat below. So I have to I've had to go on the internet and Google stuff, and I will need to get these adventures to get an idea of the setting of the cultures of the underworld. Anyway, so the problem is, or the issue is that you aren't really. It's a sort of mega dungeon. You can call the underworld a mega dungeon, but it's not really a dungeon. We are probably going to run into dungeons and old temples and underground caverns and whatnot. But the underworld itself is a vast structure of networks and tunnels and caverns. So it's a bit different. I think how it was done back in the day was via through like point crawls, sort of. So what I'm thinking is that I think I'm going to use my notebook to draw maps and then make sort of point crawls ish that way, make it more abstract when I travel around in the world. So there's that. So there's the mapping situation. And then I haven't made it yet because I think it's something we can do as we play. I think I need a base town, some sort of Svirfneblin base town. And I've come up with this word. I don't know if it's too generic. I've come up with the name Blight Bottom. And that is sort of, I haven't made any thoughts yet at all about Blight Bottom other than I'm picturing this in a sort of, some of the town is in a cavern, huge cavern, and some of it is more in tunnels. But again, it's very, very new to me how to do this. So yeah, we're treading the path together here. So yeah, that's that. And now we come to so this is done. Now we're going down to Gumse. Who is Gumse? Gumse is a thief. Gumse is a Svirfneblin. Svirfneblin are also called the deep gnomes. And again, I had to look in old resources, especially the Fiend Folio from 1978, and it's a fantastic resource. It's one of my favorite monster books, and the drawings in there are different, really different from different illustrators, but they're all really, really, really good. And also the amount of detail and how it's presented in this very sort of, I don't know, it feels like a journey back in time. It's just perfect. And the introduction I made here was the very first phrase in under the Svirfneblin. There's a lot more text about this Svirfneblin. But I'm going to run through Gumse. As you can see, we are playing in Labyrinth Lord. It's actually advanced, but we'll dive into that. So who is Gumse? And what can she do? What is her abilities? She can. It's yes, because Labyrinth Lord is essentially BX Dungeons and Dragons. She can do all the usual BX stuff, all her thief abilities, but then she also, because of her background as a Svirfneblin, she can have these 3 magical powers. She can use once per day. It's the spell Blindness, Blur, and Change Self. You can use these spells once per day. They're quite powerful. And then Gumse is equipped with a dagger, short sword, short bow, 20 arrows, and a leather armor. It does state in Fiend Folio that all Svirfneblin are sort of fighters. Maybe we'll dip our toes into a fighter level, or perhaps an illusionist level. Let's see about that. one other thing to notice is that Svirfneblin has a bit better infravision than usual gnomes have. Svirfneblin has a infravision of 120 feet opposed to the normal 60 feet. So there's that. But who is Gumse? First of all, it's a she, her. And I'm imagining a young, up and coming thief, level 1, sort of very, I think she's very fond of she's curious, right? She wants to get out of town and go on adventure. So she is adventurous. But I think she's very fond of the wildlife in the underworld. She wants to sort of um, go out and investigate, see what sort of creatures live here. She has an interest in that. And I also rolled her secondary skill, which is a butcher. So I don't know. Maybe I actually think I'm going to delete that because I don't think it matches very well with her fondness of animals, cute animals. But she is very, yeah, she has this thing for cute pets and animals and the wildlife, but I think she is sort of, yeah, she has this smile, this constant smile on her face. I think she's of course very sort of she likes to play tricks. She's not evil. She just likes to. She's mischievous, these mischievous tricks, and she's very sort of tricksy. And she sort of has this imaginary idea in her head of how a thief should be, and I think it's very sort of childish almost. So yeah, I think she's sort of yeah, young and curious. She's about to expand her horizon on the underworld. Yeah, there's that. That's Gumse. Perhaps she will develop, of course, when we play. The rules. Okay, here we are going to get heavy books. We're going to use Labyrinth Lord, and as I said, it's the advanced edition. So I have this advanced edition companion. This is literally makes it into a version of sort of inspired. I would more say like it takes some stuff from Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, but it's actually more like an advanced edition of Basic Expert. But it has some flavor of Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, but it's nowhere near as complicated. So that is sort of the foundation, the rules I'm going to use. And I think it's a good match. As you can see here, we are already in the Underworld. Whoopsie, I hit my microphone. And then also I have Swords and Wizardry here. That is because there are some rules and spells that are not representative in here of what I'm going to have to use from the Underworld. So there's a bit of stuff in here as well. So I'm going to mix that into the cauldron as well. And anything more? I think that's it for the rules. Oh, no, it's not. Sorry. Yeah, I have a very important thing to announce here. Let me see if I can get it up. Here we go. Can you see this one? Yeah. Maybe I need to do it like this. It's Scarlet Heroes by Kevin Crawford, which was actually based on Labyrinth Lord. So it's a full circle here. It's made by Kevin Crawford, and it has some of the best solo rules ever made, I think. Inside it, it's a setting of its own. We're not going to have anything to do with the setting, but it has some procedure stuff for also dungeons, which are very fitting for this Underworld theme. And it also has rules for the solo player, for one character who's going instead of a party or an entire group. So it has these mechanics that allow for single character play. So Gumse can meet, if she meets a band of goblins or bugbears, she can handle it alone. And that is very smart. And I think I need to go through that as well. It's quite simple. You can see down there and also on her character sheet, there's this damage table, and it's also, let me see if I can point. Wow. Down there in that left corner. So it's based on the normal Labyrinth Lord rules, but when you roll your damage die, let's say she has a short sword, it's a d6, and I rolled a 6, and you can see that 6 to 9 is 2 points of damage. So if I had 2d6 and I rolled 11, it would be 4 points of damage. You can even have a four-sided. I roll 2, that's 1 point of damage. So that's how it works with damage. But then, because combat is more sort of quote-unquote wild, and it should be more sort of fair for the solo singular player, players also get what is called a fray die, and this is based on which class you are, and Gumse is a thief, so she has a fray die, which is a d6. And I should also point out that the different classes has a very specific hit point system that is lower than usual, that is matched to the this damage thingy down here. So, but it's also class specific. But because she has +1 in Constitution, she has a little more. Okay. So the fray die is when you are sort of outnumbered. When, let's say, when the total hit die of an enemy is bigger than the level of Gumse, she can use the fray die. A thief's fray die is always a d6. So when, for instance, let's say that Gumse is fighting off 3 goblins. They are normally, I think, half a hit die. Let's say kobolds. You would add the enemy's hit die together and they would be 1.5. So they would have more hit die than Gumse has, or more, or higher than her level. So I can use the fray die to go along and do more damage. So it's sort of like, you should imagine I get an extra attack in, or I shoot off an extra arrow, or if it's the magic user, my spell has a side effect that does more damage or similar. Okay, so there's that. I use Scarlet Heroes for that. Oh yeah, one other thing. I did write HP here. You can see that it's a bit of a mistake actually. It's actually the enemy's hit points is actually their hit die. So if a orc has 1 hit die, it's dead if I roll a true to 5 because it removes a hit die. Yes. Okay, that's that. Let's go on. I've already recorded 18 minutes, but this is session 0. I do plan on starting the actual play later. No, I'm not entirely done. Yeah, sorry. I am done with the rules. Let's go over to the source books. I will be using, as I said, let's see here, this one, if I can get it up. La, 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 la. This one, I talked about it. The Fiend Folio. The PDFs don't have the same size, so it's a bit. The Fiend Folio, it's a sort of a source book that came up from, I don't know when. Let's see if I can figure it out. Does it say somewhere? I think it's quite early on. It's a monster book published by TSR, and it's sort of extra creatures. It's really, 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 really damn good. Love it. That one I'm going to use as well, along with this one, the Monster All Overhaul, an equally good monster book. Very, very funny, by Scarlet. One of my, not my favorite monster book. I'm going to use that, and for giving me structure when I do this solo experience, I am going to use a, let me find it. Why did it disappear? This thingy here. It's Gum, Game Unfolding Machine by Jensen Vars. This is the first version of it. I like the first version better than the second. I don't even know if there's a third or. But the first version is really, 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 really good, and it helps you structure your play. And I think I need that for this specific series and videos, because I need some structure, because I'm delving into quite new stuff here, new land, so I need a lot of help. And that is what the Game Unfolding Machine gives you. It's really good. So I'm going to use that as well. Yeah, it has tables and means to build up quests and oracles and whatnot. But it's really, really good. Then for journaling and mapping, I'm going to use my 2 journals. They are here. One with no lines for drawing and whatnot, and that's another thing. I think I will be drawing a lot. I hope I will be drawing Gumse shooting off arrows and whatnot, and then the lined one for whenever I need something written down. Maybe also small notes in this one. There's that. And I will keep it to a sort of. I'm not going to write a novel here. It's for practical use, right? So that leaves us with the last bit, which is the actual play. And to start off the actual play, there is something right before that the actual play starts, and that is Gum. We are going to use Gum as a frame to build the story hook or the where we start. So I'm going to jump right into that. Here we go. Oh yeah, I interrupt myself here. I should perhaps have had a little 3-point A here, and that is combat. I did talk about it in the rules. Yeah, that I was going to use Scarlet heroes, but how I want to present combat. I am still not 100% sure. Maybe I'm going to draw sketch battle maps in here. Maybe I'm going to use Owlbear. Maybe it's Theater of the Mind. Let's see about that. That's just a little thing I forgot. So, I'm going to get out my. I wish I had a sharp pencil. I don't, but I am going to open on a fresh page on my journal and write Gumse. And that is also really funny because we are using gum, I think. Yeah, now see what it made me do. I am going to keep it. Gumse. Okay. Gumse. Okay. Anyways, how are we going to do this? I'm going to do it like this, I think, because I think I want to have it up. Is that even possible? Let's see. Let's see. I don't need that much space. You know what? I'm just going to roll on the table. You know, like God. I'm just going to roll the dice on for this one. You know what? Let's remove the damage table for once and have it like this. Okay. So here we go. Yeah, that's a table of content, but I want to jump through all this setup here. Game setup guide. Your plot starting location. Choose or roll. We are going to roll, obviously. Let's do it. Get some dice out, and it's a 20-sided. 1. I rolled a 1, and that is. Oh, location. Sorry, this is a starting location. We already know where we are, so we're going to skip this. You know what? No, let's just keep it. It's sort of a jungle wilderness. Humid rain, rivers, swamp. That's actually perfect. So we are in a rural area of the Underworld. So location is Underworld. I'm going to write foresty, swampy, instead of jungle. Rivers. Humidity and rain. So it's sort of rain that can be from a waterfall or geysers or something. 2. Yeah, I can see that this is a lot of work, but I thought that I wanted to share this process also. I could have done this beforehand, but yeah, I think it would be fun for you to go along to see how I do this. I could potentially do this, or one could. I'm rambling. What is going on there? Choose or roll a d20. 10. Since an object was discovered or brought here, everything is wrong. What could break the balance so suddenly? So this is a question I have to sort of ask myself. An object was discovered. Now everything is wrong. Wrong or not as it used to be. Okay, this object. Okay, and now I'm getting curious. I am going to I'm going to jump down here and because I want to figure out what is this object. And I need, I think I'm going to roll descriptor plus 2 descriptors and a subject. That is what I'm going to do. I'm looking at a Grand Oracle table that has action, descriptor, and subject. I think because I want to see what it does. Maybe actually 2 descriptors and 2 subjects. And that is a 100-sided I need here. Where did it go? And I think I need to zoom in because my eyesight is not what it has been. Wow. Okay. I rolled a 50, which gives us irresistible. I'm going to write to a object. I get irresistible. And I get 56, another descriptor. And I get major. It's a big thing. It's irresistible. Okay. Now a couple of subjects. 65. A position. Okay. And 21. Creature. A creature of opposition. Okay. So we got these 4 words, descriptors and subject. Okay. Maybe we should have had an action how it was got there. No, let's keep it to this. It's something. Okay, we are in the Underworld. We are in a foresty, swampy area with a lot of humidity and rain. Perhaps this rain is from a geyser sprouting or waterfall, or maybe it's dripping down from, some sinkholes in the very, very, very far up ground level. We don't know. It's drip dropping in here. So I'm thinking it's sort of in a cavern area we are. Grand, huge cavern. I'm going to write cavern. So what could be an object was discovered, now everything is wrong. Irresistible and major. And it's got something to do with the opposition, a creature. I don't know. Or I do. An idea is forming in my head. Okay, so in the Underworld, let's see if I find it. I'm not going to reveal it. I'm going to take here because some of the down here in the Underworld, the Svirfneblin are sort of quote unquote the good guys. You want to make everything black and white, and I guess that they are sort of in opposition to all the other sort of factions down here, which are sort of the established cultures that are down here. And I have to go a bit through it. I'm not going to say what specifically they are, but we do have. Yeah, maybe we're friends also with what is called the deep elves. It's a sort of degenerate variant of elves that are albino, and they are sort of also in opposition to the drow elves who also live down here, the elves with their white-haired elf guys, who have all these sorts of spider goddesses and whatnot. And then we have, of course, orcs and goblins. And then we have the Kuatoa, who are these fish people. And then also bugbears and durgas. And also perhaps a bit mind flayers-ish. But what I'm thinking here is because that I know that, and I forgot what they are called. I think they're called fingers because, or finger something. The Kuatoa are fish people. And what I'm thinking is that they have these, like, what are they called? One sec. You know, like fish eggs, or when frogs, they have their, what do you call it? Pollywogs? One sec, I'm going to check that up. Yeah. Okay. So I found it. The English word I was looking for is of course tadpoles, but the Kuatoa call their hatchlings fingerlings. And what I think happened is because when they sort of have these quote unquote reading pens, they put the fish into these, or the fingerlings, or their eggs. I should say eggs, and they develop into fingerlings. These school of fingerlings, and I think that some sort of faction of these Kuatoa assassin clerics, they who take caretakers of these fish schools, they found these very this place, this area, this cavern was very fitting for growing their young, the fingerlings. They have the right environment for making really good Kuatoas. So this cult, or these holy, they have this faction, the Kuatoa, that are assassin clerics. They want to breed new assassin clerics, so they put their an enormous, major amount of these fish eggs into this lake. But something, and what I mean by irresistible, I'm thinking that these tadpole-like creatures are really, really cute, and we know that Gumse is really fond of cute pets. So that is why I'm thinking irresistible, but it's major, so it's a threat, right? But let's just, we don't know anything other than it's this enormous school of fingerlings, but it's put there, and it's a creature by the opposition. So that is what I'm getting. So a school of fingerlings is put out in this lake, but I think I have an idea that something due to the environment, or something in the water, that they perhaps grow really fast, or they are mutated, or it does something to the water or the environment. I don't know how to phrase it. Luckily, I recorded. But let's go on to number 3. Um, I need smaller. Yeah, I can see that this takes some time, but I hope you find this useful as well. Yeah, that was the big problem. Yeah, the problem. Got to write that. 3 is yeah, time to make your main characters. I've already done that. Eventually, you get a plot hook call. Okay, so hook. Now we're talking of fish people. 17. What? I need whoops. There's something here I don't quite understand the English here. I'm not English, so it says family petition, either of your own or an important one. Are your player characters close to someone they care? Huh? Family petition. I need to look that up. I have a vague idea. Oh lol. Okay, I get it. So somebody has written her a letter or invited her to look into this, and I think I know what it is. I think that it's really sort of cozy style here because we have to have some cozy here because we are in the underworld. I think that Gumse's grandmother who lives close to the lake has made a petition to come and visit her because it's long since and because she is worried about the the worried about the changes in around the lake. Okay, so we're going to visit her grandmother. Great. Okay, what should we do? What is the big picture? At this point, your characters were pulled, or character were pulled in. It is clear what they are called to do. Now, is it clear? If not, here's some ideas for the big goal, the final destination of your journey. Mission and a catch. So first we roll on the mission. 19. Okay. I roll. We have to convince them to change their mind. I'm already seeing Gumse walking naively into some sort of temple complex, and she wants to talk to the one in charge and say, "You have to. What you're doing is cruel to these little Fingerlings, I'm here to make you change your mind. No, I don't like that idea. Let me re-roll. 8. It's not getting any better. We have to rescue someone from trouble. I kind of like that. Maybe grandmother has some. Mm, uh, maybe she wants us to go. Maybe this is. I'm not looking at this as the big picture story. Maybe she has sort of a ranger friend or something that lives. Also an old coot who needs to ranger friend of Gumse's grandmother needs to be checked upon. She writes that in her petition. She writes, "Oh, my ranger friend, Diddly Doo. I don't know what his name is. Diddly Doo. Diddly Doo. I'm worried about his well-being. Check on. I think I want to call him Deedle Doo. I don't know why. I think that Svirfneblin has weird names. Who needs to be checked upon. He lives closer to the lake, and he's older. I don't know. And then the catch. What is the catch? 5. We've got competition. Be careful. Yeah, so this is, I think, this is information that Gumse is not aware of. Or maybe she is. Maybe there's signs of competition. When I'm writing competition, there's another faction at play. I'm going to write that. Who wants something? Maybe they want to steal the fingerlings. The fingerlings for their own purpose. Or maybe they want to eliminate them and Gumse says it's wrong. Yeah, something like that. Let's see. Number 6. Where do we start? What is the first task? Beginnings. I rolled an 8. There is a source of information nearby. It can tell us more. Source of information nearby. And I need to roll again, I think, what that is. So, one descriptor and one subject. I think I'm going to roll that. 2 descriptors and 1 subject. Oops, wrong die. 93. Unique. 83 secret. Ooh. And what is the subject? 61 is objective. Yeah, okay, that's perfect actually. So it's a something. I think it's Gumse's grandmother writes that on your way to me, you must first go to something. I need to figure out what that is. And she reveals that it's a secret. It's something that only maybe the elder generation of Svirfneblin knows about, or maybe a specific sort of, I don't know, group of people know something about that can help uh, look into the matter of what is happening at the lake. And I only now know that it's a unique secret. What the hell? Is that enough for me? I need a couple more descriptors. It's something. It's I don't know. 8. Mm, cautious. 82 and scattered. Oh my god. What could that be? Uh, I think I have an idea. I think there is an illusionist, Svirfneblin illusionist, who can take, who can investigate. Who lives? He lives somewhere. Another character we need to go to. In here in the rural area, in the vicinity of the lake somewhere, maybe closer to Light Bottom. But I can bring him stuff I find that he can analyze, and he will help us sort of put the puzzle pieces together. Because he can analyze stuff. If let's say that Gumse she needs to pick up some samples from the lake or whatever happens, right? So it's some sort of yeah. But one sec, beginnings. It's the first thing I do, yeah, because it's the first thing I need to do. She says, you have to introduce yourself to this Svirfneblin illusionist, and we will come up with a name for him. That is the first step you must take. He's living just outside Blight Bottom. Okay. And we, of course, have to find a name for him. Da, 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 da. So here we can roll what kind of opposition do we deal with. I think I already know that. But how are they acting, sort of? And I think it's those assassin clerics. I've already landed on that, but let's try and roll on this one. Oh yeah, okay. Your backstory is causing them trouble. My backstory. Yeah. That is. I think maybe I think there's a pattern here. I think that her ranger friend, the Svirfneblin illusionist, are sort of old adventurers down here in the Underworld. They were a group once of dungeoneers and whatnot. And they've since retired, but they've all sort of information. They have this history with this secret assassin cleric faction of the Uatoas. And so that is causing them trouble because I have this help from my grandmother and her friends. that is what I'm going with. Yeah, that's perfect. I cannot see how to write that down. Yeah, number, what was it, 14? Yeah, number 7, perhaps. Backstory is causing them the opposition, the assassin clerics. Uatoa. What was it? Causing them trouble. Yes, I'm getting help from the retired, the old rentners. Okay, what's next? Coming up with your scene 1. The scene design table. So this is where we sort of jump in right into some sort of action. And I'm going to roll that right now. 13, location. Location itself is the focus, unique place, area of interest, a zone. Yeah. So I've received this petition from my grandmother, from Gumse. Gumse has received this petition from her grandmother, where she urgently writes that, come visit me, but before you do, you must visit the illusionist. And we have a name. We gotta find a name for him. Okay, I want to state that we are sort of in the let's do something here. I think we are in the area where this illusionist lives, but I don't think we are there just yet. I think it's complex. I think it's more complicated to get to him. After all, he was sort of secret. So and unique. I think he lives in a unique place. So what I'm going to write is that Gumse comes to the area, quote unquote, where, and then we need to find his name. I think it's got something, it has to be something with pot in it. Like something like rumble pot or something. Rumble pot. Why not? Why not? Rumble pot. Whimsically enough. So, and I think it's, yeah, I think we need a descriptor. I was about to say it's in a sort of foresty area, but let's actually roll where it is. So I'm going to roll on descriptors. Where did they go? I lost them. Here we go. Wrong die. 21. We get Decadent and Cautious again. You know what? Scratch that. What I'm going to say is it you know what? Scratch it. It is going to be a part of a foresty area. And by foresty, I mean, of course, a mushroom forest. Can never remember as forest is with two R's. With these glow in the dark mushrooms, illuminescent and phosphorant or whatever it's called, mushroom forest. And I think, I don't know, I think he's living in a sort of mushroom. But I'm going to take a little break and we'll start with the actual play. Get rid of that and yes, be right back. I need a coffee for the next bit. Okay, I've recorded an hour now, so I'm going to, although this is sort of a session zero prep, I do want to, as I said, to have some actual play. A couple of things I've loose ends I want to tie up is that also she got a letter from her grandmother. How did she get a letter? Is it what is the it leaves many questions. How big is Blight Bottom, and what sort of postal service delivers those letters? Maybe it's some sort of. I'm thinking maybe it's in some sort of animal delivery service. I'm not sure. I don't know if they have a postal service in the Underworld. But some sort of maybe it's an animal. Maybe it's just like in the olden days. It's sort of a messenger. Somebody who messengers who would take sort of pre postal service. I don't know. Maybe I should settle on something. Is it? I'm going to ask the oracle. By the way, where is my yes no oracle? Should it just be consistent and use the one in gum? How does that work, that one? It's a 20-sided. I'm going to use the one in gum for now. Maybe I will change that up. I usually just use D6, but okay, here we go. Is the postal service or is the letters or information brought out by humanoids? I get yes as the GM. Yeah, I'm asking as the GM. Yes. So it's not. Looks like it's 50-50. So it's not. It's not animals. Okay, so it's some sort of messenger. Anyway, and I think that Gumse's grandmother, and I don't think we have a name for her yet. I only think we got a really stupid name for the ranger. I think that was sort of a stand-in name. What was Deedle-doo? Oh my god, that's bad. What is, I don't know. Let's just call her Gumse's grandmother. Um, she's a wise woman, and she knows that um, it's not smart idea to write uh, anything in detail in the letter. For instance, where the illusionist Rumpelpot lives, and that's why. And also, she wants to check out to see if Gumse might be prepared to be a real first level thief. So, like giving her a bit of a challenge. Maybe there's some sort of clues hidden in the letter, and she knows that Gumse is naive enough. Maybe Gumse is a bit naive to bring. I think she's a bit naive. Bring the letter with her, so in case that it should fall into the hands of the opposition, if there is one, or into the hands of the wrong people, that nothing will be revealed. So Gumse is definitely going to take the letter with her, just because it's a letter from grandmother, and she's going to carry it close to her heart or something. And she probably has some fond memories of going to grandmother's house by the lake as a child. Anyways, but she has this very vague description of where Rumpelpot lives. But if you look here, and then maybe there's some clues to get. I don't know how to do this in the letter to find him, but it states that she should start here, and you have to look up or something. So it's probably he has a cottage or house high up in some mushrooms or something similar. Anyways, we are going to start sort of right as Gumse has entered this thick part of the mushroom forest, and she hears all these new and strange sounds for the perhaps not the first time, but it's vaguely familiar because they've traveled by. But there's this stillness inside this secretive part of the forest, and she's standing there, and because she has infravision. And by the way, I think that's really cool when when Svirfneblin's infravision, the colors that they see, I think it was described as, I think it was like pink and purple. That's really weird. Anyways, something along those lines. I cannot remember, and I don't want to look right now. But anyway, so you have to imagine that whenever we are looking through the eyes of Gumse, it's sort of in this purple pink light. Sorry, my cat is meowing. My cat Ruth. What's up, Ruth? Oh, anyways, so she's reading the letter, and she thinks, why did grandmother not write specifically where Rumpelpot lives, or yeah, maybe Rumpelpot is not mentioned. Maybe it's just called, there's an old wise man in the forest you must visit before you visit me. It's all strange. And she is going further into this thick mushroom wood. And she's looking around for, I don't know, clues or signs. And let's say that she's walked around for, how should we say, Ruth? Yes. I had to give Ruth some food. She's hungry all the time. I think the time has come to make a little map. And I wish I had a more sharp pencil. Here. Oh, there's one here. Is it time to show off my cool pencil case? Yeah, I know. Um, I think if we have, let's say we have down here, we have in a cave down here, we have light bottom. And I think it's somewhere out here. There's some tunnel systems. We don't know yet where exactly this tunnel system is. But yeah, it goes out into opens up a bit, and we have a forest here. So this is the mushroom forest. Mushroom forest. And somewhere in here, Rumblepot lives. And I think that you can perhaps get to through other tunnels and stuff. You can get to the area. I don't know how far away it is, but we have this vast cavern. And perhaps that we don't know how it looks, but it's here somewhere that there is a lake. And there's also forest and a river or small streams that goes into, and maybe perhaps even waterfalls. We don't know. But her grandmother lives here somewhere. There's also some mushrooms here. And I think everything sort of slopes down here into where the lake is. I'm just going to draw some stapled lines here. Great cavern. Yeah, and she's going around there. She's looking for an hour. Maybe it says something you remember to look up or something in the letter. I'm just going to say that it goes an hour. Let's see if. I'm going to say that she finds it on a roll of. You know what? I'm going to roll a d6. No, you're not. I'm not. I'm going to roll on the yes/no table. Does she find it after an hour? I'm going to use the gum table for that. The yes/no oracle. Requires a skill test. It's complicated. And then I can actually roll on a complication table here. That's actually sort of interesting. I'm going to do that. 17. Useless or insufficient. Yeah, it's insufficient information in the letter. She cannot. I'm going to roll to see whether she finds it. It's a skill check. So, what does. I haven't really got anything I can. Pick locks, find remove traps, pickpocket, move silently, climb walls, hide in shadows, hear noise. Hear noise. No. Okay. Okay, I'm going to make it a wisdom check then. She doesn't. Yeah. Okay. She doesn't find anything. It's she scratches her head and she moves further into the forest and makes sure not to go in circles. Let's say another hour went by, and I think this is in the morning, around before noon, right before noon. So this is maybe 11 o'clock. Can she find it now? And I'm going to do something so it makes. Um, can you do something to add something to the roll? You can bias it by rolling 2. So it's more likely that she finds it now. Okay, so the highest of the die, that's more likely to become a 6. It did not work. I rolled a 9. Weak requires skill tests. I'd be in trouble. No, that's to another character. It requires another skill check. Oh dear. She doesn't make it. She cannot find it. She walks around. You know what? In I think we need a, because she's in the wilderness thingy, and I think we need to use the rules of Advanced Labyrinth Lord, because we need to. My God, my cat. It's Ruth. She wants to play. I'm not in the mood for that now. What is that? That is casting shadows. Yeah, here we go. Okay, I think. Yeah, I think it's time to do a wandering sort of monster check. He's in a forest, so that is on a 5 and a 6. Nothing unpleasant. Curse, no monsters. Okay, he's looking again. Another hour. Oh my God. She's really lost. So now it's 1 o'clock. She can't find anything. I think it's is it such a dangerous place that almost like a dungeon, right? So every hour, let's say I need to roll this because the underworld is dangerous. Ooh, we got a monster activity, or not maybe monster, but at least something. So I have to roll on something, and I will say that if it doesn't fit the underworld setting, I am going to re-roll the dice. One sec. Okay, so one thing in Scarlet Heroes, there is something called a threat level, which determines how dangerous monsters are and or opponents are. And it's sometimes you roll it's sort of within your own level. I should do it. So I'm going to roll here. It's a 3-sided, so it can be anything from uh, my level to 1 hit die creature, 2 hit die creature, and 3 hit die creature. So I'm going to roll the dice here, and it's a 2 hit die creature. So there's a monster list here, and I'm going to look at it. I got giant killer bee. I'm not going to take the giant killer bee. What we could take though is a giant bat. We are going to take the giant bat. Bat giant. Here we go. So there's one giant bat. It's hit die 4 though. You know what? Let's try and see if it works. Here we go. There's I think I'm going around looking up, and there's this giant bat. maybe it's some sort of, it's an alpha of the area that's hanging around there, and Gumse is clumsily stepping on a twig. Maybe it's not a twig. Maybe it's something that makes a noise. I don't know what it could be in the underworld. Um, a rock, something, and it wakes up this bat, and she looks up, and she only sees it when it's too late. And I'm going to roll now to see if any of the sides are surprised. Gumse is the transparent die. No one is surprised. We're going to roll for initiative. So there's one. I'm going to say that if she wins initiative, because these are the tall mushrooms, it will be enough for her to shoot with her bow. And then she can, yeah, let's see. Luckily, I rolled a 2 and a, that's a 2 and a 1. So Gumse won initiative, and she also has +1 actually to her initiative roll because she's so quick and nimble. Okay, she quickly gets an arrow out, and down comes the bat, swooping manically over her like a huge shadow. But she, oh yeah, I needed to roll how far it is away from her. Uh, let's say it's within shot range actually because the bat is fast. So okay, he is going to. Can you actually shoot twice in Labyrinth Lord if you have a short bow? You know what? I think I'm going to go with the rules of. I didn't say that. I know that. Thoughts and Wizardry rules. I like those better for combat actually. So the combat is phased. So meaning I'm stationary, meaning I get 2 shots off. I think it's +1 because I'm stationary and it's short range. I think so. Yeah, I'm short range +1, +2 because of her dex. So it's +3. Giant bat has. Oh, one thing. I was looking at the wrong stats. I was looking for on a black bear stat. So it's actually only a hit die 2 creature. So what I'm going to say is that this is the old bat of this uh, specific area. So let's make it a hit die 3 monster. So okay, anyways, there's only one. I'm going to say there's one. It has movement of 30. It has, so that's basically 10. Oh, but it has 60 when it's flying. Wow, it's 180. And it has armor class 6. And hit die, like I said, 3. There's 1 attack, 1 bite. Damage is a D4. Can it do anything special? Has a paralyzing bite. Last 1d10 rounds. Oh, and it does damage per round. What if it bites me? Okay, so okay, cool. So I get 2 shots off. Let's do it. So I need So it's is because she's according to the rules of Scarlet Hero, I get +1 on first level as a thief. I get that every second level, so I'm down to 18. +2, so 18 is my sort of. I need to roll a 12 or more, and I get +3 to the roll. Wow. Yes, that's one hit of the. I shoot the bat, and because it has more hit die than my level, I also get to roll the gray die. This is the normal die, doesn't really matter, and the other one is the fray die. So that's 8, and we need to get the damage thingy up. That is 2 points of damage, meaning it goes down to hit die 1. So I injured quite a good shot there, actually. Pew! But now it's the bat's turn. So the bat has 1 attack. And 7. I have armor class of 5. So that's a miss from the bat. And I have already laid my bow on the ground and quickly drawn my short sword. Or Gumse has. Not I who has. It's Gumse who has the short sword. Okay, here we go. Come on, Gumse. That's a miss. Now it's the bat. Oh. Is that a hit? Hit die 3. So let's see. 17. Yeah, that's a hit, unfortunately. So what did it say about... I need to do a saving throw versus paralysis. Luckily I have +4 to the roll there. That's bad. That is really bad. I do not make it. I roll a 10. I needed to roll a 13 or higher. Unless otherwise distracted, a giant vampiric bat will feed on a paralyzed victim, dealing d4 damage points of damage per round. What? If the opponent is killed by this attack, he must succeed a saving throw versus spell or will rise again as a vampire one day after his death. Oh my god, is that why she looks a bit like Count Dracula from Sesame Street? Is Gumse now going to become a vampire? That is almost a cliffhanger. Okay. Oh my god, this is interesting. So, okay, d10 rounds I'm paralyzed, and I have to roll a d4 of damage. Still on the damage table of the Scarlet Hero. 4 rounds. So it drains blood from Gumse. Oh my god. It's a giant bat is getting stuck to her neck or nose or whatever, and it's going to drain her. So let's see. It's a d4. 1. It did not drain anything, and this is per the rules of Scarlet Hero. 1 point. So this is round 2. Round 3. 1 more point. Round 4. 3. 1 more point. So she lost. So she gained 3 hit points. I'm doing it in reverse style, by the way. So if she's up to 5 hit points, she's dead. She's taken 3 hit points. And she wakes up again. And gets the bat, sort of holds it, and she get her, tries to hit it with her short sword. Oh my god, come on. She needs a, what was it? 12, I think it was. It's +1 to hit. Oh my god! 9, 10. It's not enough. She misses. Now it's the bat. 11. Oh my god. +3. It's 3 hit die creature. So that's 14. You just need a 13 to hit. Saving throw versus paralyzation. I make it. Okay. Me again. Oh my god, I miss. The bat hits again. I make the roll. Now it's Gumse. Finally, 14. It's a hit. Yes, it's a hit. Okay, with the fray die, she does 8. That is 2 points of damage, and the bat is killed. But she's wounded. I forgot that I could cast spells as well. Yeah, anyway. Okay. I think... Okay, she's wounded. And now she really needs to find the Rumpelpot's cottage. I think she's almost crying. Let's see. Does she find Rumpelpot's cottage? Yay! She finds it. Finally, and that's after another hour, I should say. She's spending 1 more hour, and in the meantime, is there another encounter? There is not. Okay. She finds, and I think this is the last bit before I check out, Rumpelpot's cottage. And let's see. Let's have some descriptors. I already established myself that it's in a mushroom and it's up somewhere. Oops, wrong dice. Here we go. 80. Safe, yes. That's a good thing. 1. Abundant. You know what? It's not. This is not we do. Yeah, abundant. What I'm getting here is there is an abundance of steps. Maybe it's a. When we were kids, we build. Sometimes we build like you could have these boards you could nail into a tree. We could climb them. It was really crazy. I know it's really dangerous to do. I think it's the same situation here. There's an abundance of these homemade steps, and she's really good at climbing, but I think some of it is sort of, I think she needs to make a climb roll, because it's not, I think some of it is, no, it's safe. I rolled that it's safe, so she's just going to climb up. But I will do because it's a new scene, I will roll the last scene, what is it called? Oh, there's a skill check table as well. How does that work? I'll have to look into that later. But she Yeah, seen. Okay, she finds the and it's up in a mushroom with these steps. 4. Skill test. Fast reaction test might lead to harm. Difficult, stressful. So I'm going down to look at what that skill test thing is. Skill involved. Oh yeah. 15. Low morale, scared, uninspired, unwilling. What? Scared? Ah. Okay. Low morale. Okay. Anyways, situation. The situation is needs a distraction. So there's maybe something, some mosquitoes or something that needs a distraction. And the prompt is 5. What? Prompt? Maybe I should read how to roll on this. This confuses me. What? Oh, so what is that? Is okay? Is the if you can't see what sort of weird gizmo it is? Okay, it's because this is for all genres. I'm rolling on condition. What is it? It's those stairs. So I'm getting distracted by a throng of mosquitoes and hard to move terrain. Condition. Yeah, but it's. I've just rolled that it's safe. I think you know what? I think it's just the mosquitoes. They need a distraction. You know what? No, I can't use blur. I can't. Can I use the spell? It's because they're attracted to me because I was just Gumse was just bitten by a vampire bat, and she so these ugly mosquitoes has taken are hunting her now. They want to suck her blood, and we're not talking small mosquitoes here. We're talking really big mosquitoes, not like a monster size, but annoyingly enough. I think it's not like it's a power. It's a spell blur. I think I think she's using it, and I don't want to look it up. Even I'm getting really difficult to hit. So what I do is I activate this blur, so I become sort of like I can have this sort of shimmering contour around me, so they can't really know where to suck my blood. And by doing so, the mosquitoes cannot. I keep saying it in I form. I don't know why. It's Gumse. It's not me. So she can climb up the last couple of uh, steps, and she knocks quickly on the door. And I think this is the very last bit. I need some scriptors for the old. I hope somebody is home. I think Rumpelpot is home, and I think his hut is very sort of, I don't know, cozy. I don't know. Anyway, who opens? How does he look? We get some descriptors. Da, 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 da. Characteristics. Is there some NPC descriptors? There must be. Let's see if I can find it. Yes, his attitude is, oh, it's a 20-sided. Nervous. What does he want? Wealth. He wants money. Okay, if there's not something he needs wealth. His edge, he is allies. So yeah, it speaks into the thing that he was part of this group of adventures. What is his quirk? He's delusional. Is perfect for the whimsical illusionist. 7. Looks like a techie. Yeah, I think he's sort of. I'm not going to say that he's an sort of an inventor type. Maybe he has sort of. He's not like a techie, but he's got these weird gizmo thingies, small machines, and stuff. He has lots of what? I need to zoom in. Weapons. Okay. I'm thinking. Yeah, I have to think about that. So that was session 0/1 because we did start. I'm really looking forward to play some more with Gumse and her fantastic adventures down in the Underworld. Thank you very, very much for watching. Bye bye.